Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, Wake Up Bright, where I share all the things that help me live each day a little brighter. I'm April Lauren and I'm on a journey to lose 200 pounds. And today I'm introducing a new series on my channel and it's called Real Talk Tuesday. And today we're talking about toxic positivity. So let's get into this. Last Saturday I released a video and the thumbnail said something like relentless, be the turtle, or turtle power, that's what it said. And the video was about finding points of measure that are not related to the scale so that you can continue forward in a positive mindset, acknowledging your progress. Now someone commented, and they're just trolling, but that's fine, on that video, and they said toxic positivity. That's it, that's all he said. But I looked the word up, toxic positivity, because I was like, what the hell? and I found it so interesting. Now I am pretty opposed to just making new things up to be mad about, but first I want to talk about what toxic positivity is not. Toxic positivity is not finding a way to continue forward with a positive mindset. I don't care what anyone says. Continuing forward with some positivity in your life is not toxic, if it's your choice. Toxic positivity, what I would define it as, would be imposing it on someone or yourself in a negative way. Finding things that you actually feel positive about is not toxic. Forcing yourself to believe things that are not positive are positive or acceptable, or that they are acceptable or that they are okay, that's toxic. So that's the difference. And so for that video, it is not toxic for you to find multiple forms of measure in order. And I feel like I don't need to say this to you guys, even though I am, because I think the point is pretty clear in the video. Like, if you're on a journey, the scale is making you miserable, it should not be your only point of measure anyway, because it's not an accurate, it's an accurate form of measure, meaning it will tell you exactly how much you weigh. Like how much gravity is pulling on your body in that moment. It doesn't account for how much water weight you have, if you've recently been on steroids, if you've been living your life with no muscle and now you're building muscle in your body. Like, there's so many different things that it doesn't account for. That's why measuring your physical progress, measuring the way that you look, like via pictures, like how is your body composition changing, and actually taping and measuring, like doing all those things is positive, because you'll find through those things either some point of progress, in which case you should keep moving forward, or there won't be any progress, in which case you should reevaluate what you're doing and your choices and make changes so that you can start getting progress. Whereas every time you hop on the scale, if that's your only point of measure and you're like, it's not working, and you change everything, well, that's a form of not being patient enough with your progress, because the scale isn't telling you the full story. So now that I have shared my little feelings on that, and we'll come back to that probably through, just because it's a good, I feel like it's a good example. And maybe we won't, who knows. Okay, so toxic positivity is a feeling of acting happy or cheerful when you're really not. It's a fake kind of happiness people say to you, like, just cheer up, it'll get better, don't worry, when something really bad happened to you. Toxic positivity is inauthentic happiness and can cause damage in personal and professional relationships. I've also found that toxic positivity comes in two different forms. Toxic positivity you can experience from someone or give to someone, and toxic positivity you can inflict on yourself. I am pretty anti anything that is other people imposing their ideology on other people. I think that as grown-ass people, excuse my language, but I'm pretty frustrated by like people going around policing other grown people constantly. And it's not just like, I'm on YouTube, sure. I feel like going around with like a pseudo mission of being like the positivity police. That's what the label toxic positivity is, like the weapon that these little people carry around, and they're like, you're toxic. But it's not just for positivity. They're like, you're toxic this way, you're toxic that way, you're toxic because you're a man, and you're toxic because you're positive. Like, yes, sure, there are ways that men can be toxic and women can be toxic, and people who are positive can be toxic. And I feel like that mostly comes when you're imposing parts of yourself or things that you believe onto other people. And I think that being part of the toxic police is toxic. Anyway, my real talk points here are, I feel like there's potentially a lot of us, because of the type of channel I have, that choose to look on the brighter side. And I implore all of us, or I invite all of us to take a look at some of the things that we try to look past in order to see the brighter side, and make sure we're not devaluing our own feelings. Make sure that we're setting healthy boundaries and protecting ourselves from people who would take advantage of just you being positive or choosing to look on the brighter side. You may be wondering, or you may have skipped here if you've looked in the jump around menu, why I like chose this to talk about. And that is because I think that there's some extreme value in looking at yourself through different lenses and with different perspective, and acknowledging things that you can improve on. Personally, I beat myself up with this positivity thing a little bit sometimes, and it's important for me to be self-aware of that. I feel we all have the responsibility to ourselves to set good, healthy boundaries, and we don't always know exactly what good, healthy boundaries need to be set until we have a full understanding. And when I read that article, and it said like basically 95% of people, maybe it wasn't that high, but a large percentage of people have never heard of toxic positivity. And while I absolutely hate the idea of putting toxic in front of anything else, I do think that there are some dangers in neglecting your feelings, and there's more dangers if you are someone who does it in dismissing those around you, their pain, for a positive mindset, or for your own, like to keep your own little world intact, because it's not realistic. The world is not there. I feel like there is good everywhere in the world, and it is a beautiful place. There is evil and there is darkness, and not every day is going to be bright. But that does not take away from the fact that my goal is to wake up each day a little brighter than the day before. Waking up brighter does not necessarily mean that it's perfect or that there's an absence of any sadness. I think that there's great beauty in sadness and human emotion and feeling deeply and loving. And I don't think when you truly love people and life, it's good. You've got to take the good in with the bad, and not in a form that you have to accept being abused, or you have to accept being raked by life and not standing up to it. I would love to know, have you already heard of the term toxic positivity? If you have, I would love to know down below. If you liked my Real Talk Tuesday, comment down below and let me know that hearing me ramble about my feelings is good and my thoughts. And then I'd also love it if you'd give me suggestions on things that you would like Real Talk Tuesdays on, where I'm just gonna share my feelings, you know? All right, guys, I love you guys so much. I am so grateful for you. I do believe in being positive. I do believe in reaching out to uplift those around us. And what that means is loving and listening and not jumping to judgment and allowing people to go through it, even yourself, whatever it is that you're feeling. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Today's stuff is up on the blog, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for my weigh-in Wednesday. And bye, guys.